Hi friend, this is Crystal, the content director and photographer over at Crystal Clear Photography. Thanks for joining me this week. I wanted to talk to you about how a style guide ebook specifically can help you with your photo shoot. I'm sure you probably hear me talking a lot about brands and knowing your brand and how it tailors into the photo shoot and the images that you have. That's why I always talk about photography being one piece of the overall big puzzle. I even did a blog specifically on where photography fits in among all of the many different people out there who are branding experts, website developers, designers, all of that good stuff. So I will link that below if you want to check out that blog and kind of how everything kind of fits together so you can see, am I ready for a photographer yet? Is this the right piece for me in the puzzle? And see where it might fit in if you're trying to make decisions on starting up a business or refining your brand. So to dive into this week's topic, how a style guide ebook can help you with your photo shoot. I really love this topic because having a style guide is a great way to communicate exactly what it is that your brand is all about, the colors, the visuals, the textures, all of those things that you want. So a lot of us have really gotten into mood boards, and mood boards are a beautiful way of getting a visual snapshot of a brand that you might want to have, or just kind of a taste, kind of putting your toes in the water, as I like to say, that gives you a kind of a quick synopsis of the brand and the feel that you're trying to go for. So as I talk a little bit about it, a style guide basically consists of everything that's important and relevant to your brand. So it'll have maybe like your mission statement, your tagline, your keywords, your target audience. It's kind of a good thing to have, like kind of what you do and who you're serving. So the target audience is more of like the demographics and the cold facts, but who you're serving, kind of diving a little bit more into that specifically, the benefits of your product or service, what you feel like sets you apart from your competition, any logos, fonts, colors, types or styles of photography, textures, any other kind of visual content themes that you feel are going to be the best fit for your brand. So stepping back and really creating a brand ebook would really help you in your photo shoots and really helping translate some things that I find business owners struggle with trying to articulate. So if you have a graphic designer that you've worked with, or maybe you worked with a branding specialist, generally they provide you with something sort of like this, but taking a moment and kind of stepping back and creating one for yourself, or even just like a board on, say you use Trello or Asana or Airtable or any of these organizational systems, just creating one like specific board or place that you can put all of these details will make your life so much easier. It makes it easier from a photo shoot standpoint, but it also just makes it easier in general. I even have one myself. I have a board because I prefer Airtable, and I have a board on my Airtable that is comprised of here are my visuals. Here are, the photos that I like to have. My photos are lighter and brighter and typically have some white space. I sometimes will provide some silly photos of myself. I've got my fonts on there, my colors, the headshots that I use that are in rotation right now, all of those kinds of things in one place. So taking a moment to get together a style guide ebook will help you with your photo shoot, because then your photographer can really capture all at once what it is that your brand consists of, what things are going to be important in your photo shoot, and really making sure that when you go and decide to pick a location or maybe the direction that you're wanting to take your photo shoot, that it's super intentional and that it's going to be exactly the outcome that you're wanting for your brand. I've had a couple of times where sometimes I have to reel clients back in. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Your service or product that you're providing right now to people is fashion. And fashion is got to be something that people can feel like they can see themselves in it. So doing just a studio photo shoot won't cut it. So sometimes when I have clients who come to me and they're like, well, I really just want my audience to better relate to my product. Like I've got my photos and stuff on a white background and everything, and that's working great. It's on my storefront, but I really need them to be able to relate to me better because I think it might help them buy my clothes. Perfect. Let's talk about where we typically go to buy clothes. and outdoor shopping malls and, you know, very pretty areas where we can go and take our kids and let them run around and maybe grab a coffee at the same time that we're going to buy something, and then we can go stop off at lunch. So really showing those things in action is one of the things that I recommend for her particular brand. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's go show you walking down the street with some shopping bags and this cute dress that you know someone's going to be wearing on a 100-degree weather day, you know, while she's sipping a coffee. So really having that style guidebook helps us see everything about your brand and where you're wanting to drive, so that when we can make advisements on things or suggestions on locations and props that you might have, we can make sure that it does tie back into your overall brand and the hard work that you've put into creating that. Because there's nothing worse than going and getting a photo shoot done and all of the photos really aren't quite relative to your brand or your ideal audience, and then you feel like you've kind of wasted your money and your investment. So when you have a style guide ebook, it's something that I love when clients have, because it really helps me get that. But part of my process is also helping you get that. So if you, for instance, don't have a style guide ebook, I have a real in-depth questionnaire that I have my clients go through to help identify these same key points. So when I found out that, you know, a lot of designers do the style guide ebooks, I really wanted to hone in on the importance of investing in going ahead and getting that put together in one place, because it helps speed along that part of the process. It helps me advise you on, you know, colors that you should be wearing, the tones of the buildings that we decide to go after. So if your brand is more muted and very neutral tones, then we probably aren't going to want to go walking down the street in an outdoor shopping mall where there is tons of green grass, huge giant, you know, green trees, reds and oranges and yellows and all these other funny colors all over the buildings and stuff. And while that might be great for one person, it might not serve you and your audience and your ideal client. So you can see really how it starts with the brand and trickles down into everything. So having a style guide ebook really just helps make sure that you know exactly what it is that your brand is, what you want from it, and then it helps you communicate that to the professionals that you're working with in the creative industry, including your photographers. So the next time you get ready to set up a photo shoot and venture off into getting some branded images that are going to better suit your brand and relate to your audience, make sure that you have, you know, a style guide ebook or somewhere that you can send them to, so that you can make sure that the photographer understands exactly what your brand is about, what you're doing, who your ideal audience is, and it can help you make sure that that is visually translated in a flattering and fun manner, so that your audience continues to grow, your followers continue to grow, and of course it adds to your company's bottom line, which is what we're all here for, right? So thank you for tuning in for me today. I am going to leave all of the notes and information down below and a few links. If you have any questions about doing a photo shoot, maybe not sure where to start or even what to expect when it comes to budget, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. I'm an open book and talk with my clients on a consistent basis and helping them fine-tune their process and what resources and tools are going to be best for them when it comes to their photography. If you're still in that do-it-yourself mode, if the idea of hiring a photographer sounds super overwhelming because you're kind of doing okay on your own right now, then make sure to check out the Flat Lay Method e-course. I designed the e-course to teach you my method of how to do a flat lay and how to do the product photos from start to finish, idea to concept, to actually breaking it down into a shoot, and how I pick props and backdrops. So it'll be a great resource and tool for you, and I'll leave the links for that information down below. Until next time, I look forward to talking to you then, and I hope you have a fabulous week.